To share with you guys something I've realized from trying to help clients with local SEO is that there's a lot of things I can do. I can create citations, I can create traffic. But if you don't have a website, if your profile's not optimized at all, if you're not getting reviews, then it's going to be really, really hard for you to rank. So let's look at this flooring company where I'm able to help them quite a bit, but there's just some things are going to be weak in. So like they don't do a lot of carpet. So it's going to fluctuate. So yeah, I'm getting it green where their office is, but I'm not able to stretch it out much further because they don't really have a service area that mentions these other areas. When you look at flooring contractor, that makes a lot of sense. And it's the name of the cities and the name of where they're located. If you go down to one of the first examples of this was tile installer, they don't have anything that they're mentioning on tile, but Google understands the context of which tile is. So tile is flooring, therefore this is a flooring contractor, therefore I'm able to get results for this, but it's still not green yet. And I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to make it green unless he mentions tiles specifically on his website, because I feel like that's a big factor to it, or he gets a review where someone mentions he's installed tile. When we look at my own business here, and not my own business, this is a barber shop. This person doesn't have a website, hasn't really touched their Google profile at all. And so I've not been able to really move the needle much at all, except for a few days where it looked like maybe my activity was pushing this, but then it died down really quick. So unless it's consistently being pushed, basically Google is seeing, oh, there's someone doing something that's creating activity that I'm paying attention to, but there's only this one person. And so I'm not able to lift this whole thing without the owner actually engaging with their own website, getting reviews and those sort of things. On my own site here, you can see there's some things like AI agency. I don't really have a landing page for this. I don't really have people searching for this. No one's actually probably looking for this anyway. So especially not in my area. So this hasn't moved the needle at all. Whereas other things that people are looking for, like home services and Facebook marketing, those sort of things, has popped up here and there. Again, I'm probably the worst at promoting my own business. So that's not been there. So when we look at a real estate agent in Florida, what I've noticed here as well, the same thing is I can really help them lift their area. I can help them lift for generic terms, but it's really hard to help them lift city specific terms where they don't have an office. And so this is a really big area like this. You can see how this is in the picture. Orlando, this is a very, very large thing. Now, most companies, they don't try it when you go online and you get marketed to for local SEO. Most of them are zoomed way in and they're like, oh, look, I got green. And that's all these little green dots. Now, we can do this all day long if that's the center of your business. What I'm trying to do is target a metro area and show you, can we do this? So that's why it's building in public to see if we can actually do it. And notice on this coaching client here that haven't really made any significant impact on the things that they already own. Can't stretch them all the way out to Atlanta and couldn't come up with a term when their website doesn't mention this term at all. So again, if you don't have a website that mentions the key phrase, and you don't mention it on your Google profile, you're not going to be able to rank for it. Like you can't just rank for things that you're not targeting. So that's a gee whiz does sort of takeaway. Same thing with pressure washing. Again, this guy has no physical location. He has no website. So trying to impact his business through just local SEO efforts is not gonna work. So that's really like your takeaway. So if you're thinking about a local SEO, make sure that you're going to update your profile, that you're going to have a website. If you don't have a website and you're not going to touch your profile, then don't invest in an agency or a course or anything for local SEO. Just, you really need to focus on that profile first, and then maybe a website, then maybe add in local SEO because that's an additional cost. So I hope this is helpful for you. I don't know if I'm going to continue on this and just start a new project, because trying to force rankings where there's no targeting, where there's no intentionality is really tough. So we'll see what happens.